Hello and welcome to the final capstone review for our tutorial on AI data threats. We've covered a lot of ground, and now it's time to put all the pieces together into a clear, actionable playbook to keep your organization secure. You've put in the work, you've seen how these risks pop up in pretty much every department you can think of, from HR all the way to engineering. So now let's consolidate all those lessons, zoom out a bit, and really lock in the big picture. Okay, so before we can really internalize the solution, we have to take a quick step back and remind ourselves of the core problem. What's the fundamental threat here? Why is this AI-driven risk such a big deal for every single company right now? Well, for starters, this isn't some niche corner case problem. A staggering 78% of organizations are reporting that their use of AI tools is going up. That means this technology and all the risks that come with it are already baked into how your teams get their work done every single day. And here's the direct result of that explosion in usage. When you have unmanaged AI, you're looking at a 3.2 times greater risk of data exposure. Think about that. It's like a massive amplifier for every security challenge you already have. So how were attackers actually getting the data out? We looked at 4 primary techniques, remember? There was prompt injection, where they trick the AI with hidden commands, context poisoning, which twists a conversation to make it leak info, good old social engineering, which cons your own employees into feeding the AI sensitive data, and finally, memory exploitation, which can actually pull data from the AI's past conversations. All right, so where do these threats really hit home first? Let's start with what we call the people-centric risks, the departments that are swimming in sensitive employee and customer data every day. The risk in HR became painfully clear with this case study, didn't it? An HR coordinator was just trying to do the right thing, using an AI to check for salary equity. But in the process, they uploaded a goldmine of compensation data that a competitor later got their hands on. Just devastating. And it wasn't just HR. We saw almost the exact same pattern in marketing. A coordinator used an AI tool to brainstorm some taglines, but inadvertently leaked the entire campaign strategy. The next thing they knew, their competitor launched a nearly identical campaign before they could. Across both sales and customer support, the big takeaway was all about protecting that high-value customer information. We're talking about customer contact lists, custom pricing from sales, or product defects and account details from support. Each one of those is a critical vulnerability when you introduce public AI tools into the mix. From there, we shifted gears from people to the operational engine of the business, the departments that are in charge of the company's money and its code. Man, that finance example was a tough one. A director used an AI to model some new pricing scenarios, but in doing so, they fed it all their detailed cost structures and profit margins. Once that data got out, a competitor knew exactly how to undercut them. And here's the really scary part. Even routine IT work became a massive risk. We saw how a senior network engineer used an AI just to troubleshoot a routing problem. But in that conversation, they accidentally drew a perfect map of their corporate network, which an advanced threat actor later used to walk right past their defenses. The danger we saw in engineering was a little different and, honestly, a lot more sneaky. It wasn't one big leak. It was death by 1,000 cuts. Thousands of little code snippets pasted into an AI by developers just looking for help added up over time to reveal the company's entire unreleased product roadmap. And that brought us to our final and maybe highest stakes risk cluster, guarding the crown jewels, the privileged information in legal and the game-changing innovations coming out of R&D. The lesson from the legal department was absolutely critical. Using a commercial AI for legal work wasn't just a data breach. It was a full-blown legal catastrophe. The AI's chat history was subpoenaed, which completely destroyed their attorney-client privilege and handed the whole litigation strategy to the other side. A total nightmare. And in R&D, the risk was all about protecting the future of the company. We focused on guarding things like raw experimental data, early findings, and especially those pre-patent innovations. A leak here means your competitor could beat you to the patent office with your own idea. Okay, so after running through all those horror stories, we pivoted from the problem to the solution. Let's do a quick recap of the path forward to building a real defense. The biggest thing we learned is that there's no magic fix, right? The only thing that actually works is a layered defense in-depth strategy.
It needs strong technical controls to block risky stuff, a clear policy framework so people know the rules, ongoing employee training to build that security mindset, and continuous monitoring to catch anything that slips through. So that framework is the blueprint. It's great, but it all boils down to one critical question. How do you take this general knowledge and apply it to the specific tools, the specific teams, and the specific challenges inside your organization? And that really gets to the heart of it. This tutorial from Virtualization Options LLC was designed to give you general guidance that applies to a typical company. But as we've seen over and over again, every organization is unique. True security has to be tailored to your specific needs. That kind of specialized training is what lets you address the actual tools and processes your people use every day. It's how you can seriously reduce these risks while still getting all the productivity benefits that AI has to offer. And, we have to be upfront about this. The general guidance we've reviewed here might not apply to your specific situation, so it's offered without any warranty. That's precisely why we develop customized training only after collaborating closely with an organization to figure out its unique needs and priorities. So, to take that next step and learn how to create a training program that's built specifically for your organization, please feel free to contact Bob Slovic, the Chief Technologist at Virtualization Options LLC. His email is right there on the screen. Thank you so much for completing this tutorial.